Guitarist once said about Mick Taylor.
He wasn't as great as a rhythm player. Never the twain shall meet.
But as a guitarist, I have to ask, is that really true? Hello everyone, I am Shua. Today, we are diving deep into the Rolling Stones' golden era. We will uncover the hidden truth behind Keith and Mick Taylor's ensemble and the secret of the ancient art of weaving. In 1969, a 20-year-old virtuoso named Mick Taylor joined the Stones. Keith Richards was ecstatic. In his autobiography, he recalled the moment Taylor first played in the studio.
He was a bloody good player. We actually had a band now.
For the first time, Keith was free. He had a partner who could handle the fluid leads he couldn't, allowing him to dive deep into his true passion, the rhythm. During their golden era, a period even Mick Jagger acknowledges as the band's greatest, Guitarist looked back at the Mick Taylor years in a 1983 interview.
It was much more lead and rhythm. As fabulous as he is as a lead guitarist, he wasn't as great as a rhythm player. It was you do this and I'll do that, and never the twain shall meet.
But wait a minute, Keith, is that really true? For Keith, weaving meant two identical guitars blurring the lines between lead and rhythm, the exact style he later perfected with Ron Wood. Since Taylor played with structured precision, Keith claimed their weaving was completely lost. But if you actually play the songs from that era, you'll find a completely different story. Listen to this. First of all, Taylor's rhythm guitar is by no means bad. It is highly precise and incredibly solid. Against Keith's iconic, loose, and laid-back pulse, Taylor brings an understated yet incredibly precise rhythm. It is light, tasteful, and structurally solid. Even on tracks where Keith takes the lead, Taylor steps back to provide a rock-solid foundation, holding the groove together with perfect timing. Unlike Keith's heavy, dirty pulse, Taylor brings a light, pleasant feel that lifts the groove. Keith said they never met, but they are absolutely intersecting. Taylor was finding the exact holes in Keith's rhythm and sliding perfectly into them, like pieces of a puzzle. Listen to this. Taylor wasn't just sitting around, waiting for his turn to play a solo. He was a master craftsman, building a complex, two-layered structure by adding rich textures and melodies to the band's raw sound. Look at his brilliant obligatos, the iconic fills that transition from the verse to the chorus. He weaves in beautiful, sophisticated lead lines that often cross the bar lines, but they always land perfectly on the beat, with flawless rhythmic timing. Even when Keith is in the spotlight, Taylor's subtle fills add a brilliant flair, decorating the song with incredible sophistication. Taylor later explained,
Keith is a rhythm player, and he's the best. But sometimes I had to find a hole to fit into.
Taylor wasn't just waiting for a solo, he was building a complex, two-layered structure. And here is the most interesting part, satisfaction. In the 1969 version, Taylor adds a funk-inspired riff. Listen to this. Whether it was his original idea or born from a jam, it completely transforms the standard rock anthem into a funky driving groove. The way he intertwines with Keith's main riff here is brilliant. This isn't a lack of weaving, it's a sophisticated musical dialogue that only this duo could create. Keith says playing with Ron Wood is easier because their styles are so similar. He said,
"With Ron, if he drops his pick, then I can play his lick until he picks it up, and you can't even tell the difference."
in a way, they formed a good friends club. It's comfortable and relaxed, and it's undoubtedly the reason the Stones have survived for over 60 years. But longevity has a price. The Mick Taylor era was a high-tension collision of two different worlds. It wasn't easy, and it couldn't last forever. But that friction is exactly why those 5 years produced the most explosive peak performances in rock history. The ultimate truth was revealed during the 50th anniversary tour. At the 2013 Glastonbury Festival, when Mick Taylor stepped back onto the stage to play Can't You Hear Me Knocking, he delivered an awe-inspiring 2-minute solo. The air shifted instantly. The old electric tension was back. While Taylor is a brilliant virtuoso in his own right, it was the friction of the Stones and the gravity of Keith's rhythm that pushed him to touch the divine. Without Keith's dirt, the diamond couldn't shine its brightest. So, we are left with a question. Was Keith speaking his absolute truth in 1983? Or was he simply standing by his new partner, Ron Wood? We may never know his true intent at that moment. However, as the years passed, Keith's tone changed remarkably. In a later interview, when asked about his favorite memory of Mick Taylor, he didn't mention a specific conflict. Instead, he simply said,
"It's the music we made. Mick Taylor opened up some beautiful possibilities, especially in the studio. He had an incredible melodic sensibility, and his lines were beautifully woven into the rhythm."
The 1983 interview wasn't a final judgment. It was just a snapshot of a man moving forward. In the end, the respect remained, even if the collision had to end. They were never meant to be a good friends club. They were a supernova, a collision of incompatible souls that left a light that will never fade. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please subscribe. Keep on rolling. See you next time.